Hi there, how are you going today? Today we're doing the fifth tip for those who are schooling at home due to the coronavirus, and we're talking about screen time today and how to make good decisions about how much screen time your kids are using. So if your kids are at home doing school at home, there's every chance that the teacher has sent home online lessons. Then there's every chance that they're connecting with their friends online, gaming or talking, video or audio. Then maybe your family time consists of movie time as well. And so it seems as if the whole world is on screens at the moment, and it's hard to balance how much time you want for your child and how much all the demands are screaming out for your child to have more. So really want to encourage you that your family life does not have to be a victim to digital technology or social media, and that you as a parent can make decisions that shapes how much time your child spends on a screen. But you do need to be onto it. You need to know what your expectations are, how much you are wanting your child to spend, and how you're going to curb it if it's got more than that. So the first step is actually to see how we actually use technology or our screen time, and to get a balanced perspective on that, because it's easy just to swipe it and say all screen time. And if we do that, we're not really being very considered, and especially if we have teenagers, that will create quite a lot of conflict and needless conflict. So over the years, I've boiled it down to 4 different areas of our life, 4 different applications for digital technology. And they are social, that's kind of the obvious one, but social reasons. So we use technology to connect with family and friends. Then there's the recreational and entertainment aspect of screen time. There's the gaming, the scrolling, the viewing. Then there's creative projects. We often forget this one. So creative projects could be photography, filmmaking, scrapbooking. I scrapbook on my computer, so scrapbooking or art. They're some of the ones that our family have used. Blogging was another one that my kids used their screen time, but they were being productive. And then productive or creative. And then there's the education. And that can be from school or just educational apps and things like that our kids might be using. So for learning, studying, research, writing, that type of thing. So when we see those 4 different areas of how we use our screens, it means that we can find an appropriate amount of time for each one of those areas for each of our children. And that's the way that we can come up with a balanced approach to using screens in your family. So how much time you set and how many restrictions and that you set will depend on each child and each child's need and ability to use the technology for the right purpose, and then also respect themselves, others, and your rules. And so you take all of that into consideration, then you set the limitations for screen time in your family. So the second tip I wanted to share helps you with the next phase. If you just have decided that screen time is a little bit out of control and you want to pull it back, then this tip will help you with that, because there will be some pushback. Screen time is fun and it's easy, and so it's not kids are not going to like you changing that. There will be pushback. But just because the kids don't like the decisions that you're making as a parent, doesn't mean you don't make those choices. You're making those choices because you have the bigger picture and a bigger understanding of the implications of what your kids are doing. And so it is your responsibility to make choices, make decisions that shape how much time and what your kids are doing with that time while they're online or while they're using a screen. So technology gives us and our kids so much good stuff. It really is good. I am not anti-technology, anti-screen time at all. But it can also numb our brains a little bit and makes things too easy, and we get used to not thinking and not being creative. And so in one way, it really helps our kids to get bored. And so if they have too much of this screen time, they can't think of what else to do if you were to take it away. So you need to help them find other things to do. You can't just take it away. You've got to replace it with something. So I found on Pinterest years and years and years ago a little acronym that I used with my kids, and it was helpful because it gave me a guide when they wanted to have recreational or social screen time, which is the areas that I put the most limits on. When they wanted to go into those applications, I was able to just run through this little acronym, and it helped them to get that balance of different activities in their life. So ironically, the acronym is BORED, B-O-R-E-D. So I would ask them, have you been creative? Have you had outside play, read a book, exercised for 20 minutes, and done something helpful? So the expectation in our family was that they would do those things, be creative, outside play, read a book, exercise, and do something helpful before they had recreational or social screen time. So I do have a few blogs on this topic over on my website, livelifewithyourkids.com. So if you go over there and just search for either technology or BORED, B-O-R-E-D, and I've got a few blogs on both of those topics that will help you find this balanced perspective of using screen time but not being ruled by screen time in your family. So this is the last of the 5 tips for those schooling at home through COVID-19. I do hope they've been helpful for you. And if you have any questions, just send me a message and I'll be able to chat with you some more. See ya.